It's Monday, November 15th, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, the CDC reduces the country's COVID-19 risk rating. The economy of South Andros rebounding. A medical expert shares the long-term impact of COVID-19. And a mother of three is a new author. So let's start the morning off right. And welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDawn Davis.
Welcome. I'm Desmond Saunders. Start of a new week.
It's starting to feel like Thanksgiving and Christmas around
Starting
town.
to feel like Thanksgiving and Christmas. You know, this weekend it was crazy on the streets.
Well, you know, the emergency orders was lifted and everybody feels like they're free.
Yeah, everybody feels that they're free and they want to be crazy, right, at the same time.
Well, they want to have fun, you know. We've been locked down for quite a while.
So they're out on the streets. And what I like to see, what I'm seeing now is a lot of businesses are putting out a number of Christmas products, ornaments, that type of thing. So that's a good feel for what's happening.
So you know the parking lot at Kelly's is going to be really thick, right? At the mall.
I know, right?
I'm sure you're not going to go there.
I'm not going to go there.
You're a good shopper.
I have my special places, but Kelly's is good too.
It is a good place. And we have a special trivia.
That's right. We have a special trivia. Look at these wonderful ornaments. Have you started to put your Christmas tree together yet?
Not yet. But I'm seeking some professional, decor from, some experts.
So for those of you who are watching, and those of you who want to start to get your Christmas tree and your ornaments together and your celebration together, this is a wonderful gift for you from Janae's. Janae's is back in business.
Yeah.
And let's get our question on. The question is, what country started the tradition of putting up Christmas trees? You want to take a guess? I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag. You have an idea?
I think I have an idea, but I want the callers to call in and give the correct answer.
So that's the trivia right there. You can put it back up for me. What country started the tradition of putting up Christmas trees? If you get the answer, you think you're lucky, you think you can score and get these wonderful ornaments, call in 502-3855. Beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, I love it. I love it.
That's cool.
Christmas is awesome.
This is a nice color too.
Yes, it is.
Christmas color.
And then we have traffic.
What we're going to do now is take a look at weather. Weather looking pretty good for you today. Current conditions, 77 degrees, cloudy conditions. Weather forecast for today, staying on the outside. A cold front near the central Bahamas will continue to produce showers as it meanders over the northern Bahamas. Meanwhile, moderate to locally fresh winds will persist across the nation through tonight. Boaters in the northwest and central Bahamas should remain vigilant due to the possible water spout activity near the frontal boundary. Beachgoers should exercise caution along north and east coast beaches due to the risk of rip currents. A daytime high 84 degrees Fahrenheit, overnight low pressure 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius. Taking a look now at your extended forecast. Tuesday is going to bring in some winds gradually subsiding with 81 degrees. Wednesday, strong winds subsiding with 83 degrees, and your 4-day forecast wrapping up to be pretty good.
The United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has reclassified the COVID-19 threat in the Bahamas from a level 4 do not travel advisory to a level 3 warning, according to a release from the Ministry of Health. The release also indicated that the change in the country's COVID-19 level is based on the reduction in COVID-19 cases recorded over the past several weeks. The business of the House of Assembly resumes at 10 a.m. this morning. Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Clint Watson, tells us what we can expect.
When Parliament meets this morning, there's going to be the laying of the merchant shipping bill, which is so important and critical to our growing and mushrooming maritime industry. Debate on the supplementary budget communication and essentially the VAT bill will be delayed until the 29th of this month. As you know, the Free National Movement this month will be going to elections, and so it's not normal for Parliament to meet until that's finished. So once that's concluded, the debate will reconvene for the supplementary budget communication. That's expected to be the lineup for Parliament going forward for the rest of this month.
You can watch the House of Assembly proceedings in the House of Assembly live on Parliamentary Channel 420. Active investigations underway into a fire which took place in a Haitian village just off the Cool Acres subdivision overnight. Police press liaison officer ASP Audley Peters says when officers arrived on the scene, they met a multi-story wooden structure engulfed in flames.
The fire and did a search of the structure, and apparently at this moment there seemed to be no life lost. We're made to understand that this multi-structure housed 3 families, all of whom we're made to understand are safe at the moment. We're encouraging persons to take the necessary precautions with their homes to mitigate these fires, in particular wooden structures.
The death of 4-year-old Deonia Bella Walker has certainly gripped the heartstrings of the nation. Bella's mother and boyfriend were charged earlier this week in connection with the 4-year-old's death. And offering her thoughts on this tragic incident was the wife of the Prime Minister, Anne Marie Davis.
I would like to raise the matter of the death of baby Deonia Bella Walker. I must say, while the abuse of women and girls are usually at the hands of men, we as women must be equally intolerant of abuse and as vociferous and verbose. And we must be vociferous and verbose in our public opposition to abuse and demonstrate our outrage toward the unacceptable and horrific behaviors of some of our fellow sisters.
Meantime, public school teachers to benefit from the generosity of an international foundation and local businesses, the Ministry of Education, in partnership with 3 sponsors, will provide the winning teachers with cash and prizes. Senior Education Officer for Interscholastic Sports, Evan Wisdom, provides more details about the initiative.
The grant is $500 to 20 teachers. $500 to 20 teachers. Number 2, along with that, we've asked Lightborn Trading to provide confectionery items so that those items can also be given to the 20 winners. You can see all of the foodstuffs that they have on the table, and so those persons and those families will get additional food items via Lightborn Trading.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
Do you want to travel this holiday season? Don't want to miss out on those blockbuster deals? Well, have you gotten your COVID-19 vaccine yet? Time is running out to travel for the holidays, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine may be just what you need. It's one and done. Just one jab of this vaccine, and 2 weeks later, you're fully vaccinated and ready to shop. Protect yourself and your loved ones this holiday season. Schedule your vaccine appointment now.
Odyssey of the Seas set to sail to the Bahamas, giving its guests a perfect visitor experience. Kelsey Johnson is on board.
Good morning, LaDawn. Good morning, Desmond. It may seem as though we are a long way from home, but in all actuality, we have anchored down here in Coco Cay. The tallest water slide in North America is on Coco Cay. Walking up to the platform doesn't sound like fun, but all that changes with a 450 slide down the helium balloon. Isn't that thrilling? Ziplining across the sea can also be a high point for you. And if you're afraid of heights, your sandy toes can lead you right into one of the prettiest beaches where you can relax in any one of the beach chairs. You know, catching the rays while listening to the waves. Just ask these visitors who want to make it their homes.
Everything was wonderful. All the parks in here were absolutely amazing, and most of all, the people were very, very nice, very welcoming.
This is just one of the colorful stops when you're cruising on the Odyssey of the Seas. And if you decide to disembark but feeling the blues, you can quickly turn that into a perfect day.
We have had a wonderful experience cruising. Visiting Coco Cay has been the perfect day. Everybody that we've interacted with from Royal Caribbean staff has been wonderful and kind. Everywhere we go, we just feel like we are on the best vacation. There's so much to do. There's all kinds of opportunities everywhere, and it's like there's no crowd. So when you go somewhere else within the United States, everything is so crowded right now. And here it's like I have all this room. I feel like I'm on my own private vacation.
The island is a perfect getaway. Even the kids can splash around.
Everybody here is just treating me like family. Everybody that I talk to is so happy to see me, so happy that we're here, that travel is back, and just happy to provide the perfect vacation. Whereas when you go to hotels in the U.S., they're like, just go to your room. And here, everybody's like, oh, welcome! And it's just been a wonderful experience today. Also, perfect weather. Safety-wise, I feel like everybody is taking appropriate precautions. Everybody is following the precautions recommended by the cruise line, and everybody on the island is respecting each other's space, which space is the biggest thing that makes me feel safe. And just the fact that I can walk around and there's nobody right next to me is what makes me feel safe. Everybody's definition of safe is different, and I think what makes everyone feel safe is different. But as far as my concern, I feel like I have enough space to feel safe wherever I go.
With the sun beaming on my face and the wind blowing my hair, it's definitely a perfect day on Coco Cay.
Kelsey's having a lot of fun. Well, in just a few minutes, we're going to have traffic. But for now, the South Andros economy now on the rebound with a decline in COVID numbers. Member of Parliament for Mangrove Key, Central and South Andros, Leon Lundy, says the South Andros economy is seeing a spike in tourist arrivals due to the revival of the island's vibrant bone fishing industry.
The bone fishing season just opened up, so a lot of guys love that. We just finished the pigeon season also, so definitely we're trending in the right direction while the numbers are trending in the right direction on our behalf. So it's a good time for COVID to be going down while business is about to kick up and pick off right before the season. Well, I can tell you there's been a number of private jets coming in with persons now beginning to go to different lodges in the area, all the way from Coco Cay coming down straight into South Andros.
We take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On November 15, 1972, senators approved the National Insurance Bill despite minor objections to Clause 56. Also on November 15, 1982, the Bahamas participated in its first meeting of the General Assembly of the Organization of American States. The country's representative was Minister of External Affairs and Attorney General Paul Adderley.
Princess Margaret Hospital's dialysis unit has implemented enhanced COVID-19 prevention protocols to ensure the safety and health of patients and healthcare staff. Patients are required to wash their hands upon entering the dialysis unit before and after using the bathroom and after treatment. Patients are asked to sanitize their hands in between treatment and as necessary. Staff and patients are required to wear face masks at all times while in the dialysis unit. All shoes should be removed once seated for treatment and placed on the floor beside you. Shoes may be worn again after treatment and in preparation to leave the unit. Patients are asked to bring a pair of socks to be worn during treatment. Patients who prefer to leave their shoes on during treatment must place a shoe cover over their shoes prior to commencing treatment. At no time should patients place the bottom of their shoes on the chair or footrest in the unit. Members of the public are encouraged to follow all health advisories, public service announcements, and updates regarding health and hospital services for important information. This message has been brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority.
You are a healthcare worker. Thank you for fighting on the front lines against COVID-19. It is normal to feel stressed when taking care of others who don't feel well. But remember to take care of yourself. Don't forget to rest between shifts, eat healthy meals, engage in physical activity, and stay connected to family and friends. Avoid harmful coping strategies like drinking alcohol. For managers of healthcare workers, the same tips apply to you. Here's how you can help. Consistently give updates. Rotate staff between high and low stress level functions. Encourage work breaks and ensure that they know where they can find help. We are here for you.
We're having a wonderful Monday so far. What we're going to do is head on the streets, see how things are wrapping up traffic-wise. Officer Princeton Jr. standing by. Good morning.
Good morning, LaDawn. Good morning, Desmond at studios at this time. Good morning, Bahamas. We're here at East West Highway at this time, where we have a moderate flow of traffic. However, you know, we're getting into the Christmas season, and people are starting to drive more dangerously. We want you to stay cautious, be vigilant, other road users. A lot of persons tend to use these highways, fail the signal left and right, that they are switching lanes. We want you to pay attention, pay close attention to these persons who are failing to use their signal lights, because you can cause an accident. Thank you, LaDawn. Thank you, Desmond.
Ever wondered about the long-term effects of COVID-19 and the impact it has on your body weeks and or months after being infected? Well, the morning team had a chit-chat with a local medical expert to find out.
Persons who have had the COVID-19, we're seeing that persons sometimes can have symptoms about 4 weeks or so after being infected.
President of the Physicians and Consultants Association, Dr. Sabrika Pinder, giving a little insight on how long the COVID-19 syndrome after effects last. The condition called long COVID syndrome can have a great impact on the human body.
Some of the symptoms persons have noted: cough, headache, muscle ache, diarrhea, memory challenges, anxiety, not being able to concentrate or think properly, the brain fog, tiredness, shortness of breath, sometimes challenges with having an increased heart rate or feeling like their heart is pounding, so palpitations. So a lot of those things have been studied, and we've been looking at them here and certainly globally.
Dr. Pinder says when patients encounter these symptoms, it is crucial for medical experts to develop a multidisciplinary team approach, especially when it comes to the mental health status of patients.
Will need to be consulted, perhaps a neurologist, endocrinologist, internal medicine specialist, dermatologist. It just depends on the symptoms, so we could really get to the root of it. And certainly, a lot of persons don't really think about the mental health component of what COVID-19 survivors experience, and even persons who may not have even had COVID but have been living through this pandemic. The emotional strain, even being hospitalized, for persons who have been quote-unquote in lockdown. All of that has mental impacts on certainly Bahamians as well too.
But in the meantime, Dr. Pinder says research on the lingering long-term effects of COVID syndrome is still an ongoing process.
We have had patients, we do have persons who are still having symptoms months after having COVID. Certainly it can be debilitating. There can be various degrees, and certainly we also have seen patients who have recovered and done very well, and that tends to be the majority of persons. But unfortunately, we're finding that there are still groups of persons who have not recovered fully. We're still trying to find out what's happening.
LaDawn Davis, ZNS.
Wow, an eye-opener on the lingering long-term effects of COVID.
I just hope the vaccine is just doing its bit, just trying to fight it off, because it's really terrible after you get COVID.
What was the experience producing this story?
Because a gentleman, he's a police officer. He worked in the COVID unit. He had called me, and he said that he was having insomnia. He was having heart issues. He was saying that his heart skips.
Wow.
Every so often, and he said, LaDawn, I wanted you to look into, to find out about the long-term effects of COVID. And he also talked to me about POTS, I don't know if you heard about that. That's another story for another day. But yeah, he was saying that, you know, he had heart issues and insomnia. He's had a little bit of memory loss. So yeah, Desmond, I don't think you want to get COVID.
Yeah, so the best thing is to get vaccinated. Vaccination centers are open everywhere. Of course, there's a lot of debate about whether they're getting vaccinated or not getting vaccinated. A lot of hesitancy still exists, but vaccination is definitely the key, folks, all right?
Yes.
And we're going to switch gears a bit, and this morning we're going to introduce you to a career educator turned author. During a special presentation at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, the mother of three became one of the newest Bahamian authors. Here's Lloyd Allen.
One of the things that I enjoyed about the book is Mrs. Murphy talked about church.
San says the book attempts to paint a true picture of life in the Bahamas in the not-so-distant past, and for that reason it proves as a relevant read for Bahamians. Author Sherilyn Murphy explains the title.
In 2016, I just decided, well, I had some flashbacks of my life, and I always quote the chorus, when I look back over my life and I think things over, I can truly say that I've been blessed. I have testimonies. And hence the name of the book, Wonderfully Blessed.
She says as a girl, she preferred going against the grain, but now a self-described transformed woman, Murphy sees traditional parenting as her key to success.
I was angry back then when they tell me I couldn't do certain things. Like, for example, my father wouldn't allow his kids to watch television. He didn't even buy one for the house. He said an education was the best thing that we can get. And he wanted all of his children to get a very good education, especially his girls. He said, if you get a good education, no man can take advantage of you.
The young Sherilyn in the book is a guide to children of today on what real fun should be.
The children these days do not know what real fun is. Putting up those photographs and hiding from our parents as we stole food and all that kind of thing. To us, that was fun. But of course, if we got caught, you know, that was another story.
As Murphy was joined by her husband, son, and grandson to celebrate the milestone, a top-off for the event was a special skit by moderator Portia Sands with the goal of inspiring other writers.
I could knock that toilet over the cliff. She'd go back down the road and come running with a ball of speed and push. The toilet rock and gone right over the cliff. He said, who knocked the toilet over the cliff? Papi, you're angry. I pushed the toilet over the cliff. What wrong with you? What you knocked that toilet over the cliff for?
This story should inspire a lot of Bahamians out there. Age is just a number, right?
And you said that you know the lady from
I think
the
she did some work
She's
at the
awesome.
Dundas. She's awesome. She's awesome. Great work. Great story.
And you have the trivia
answer. We've got the trivia answer. The winner is Margaret Malone. And the trivia answer, well, the trivia question, can you give us a trivia question there? What's the trivia question, LaDon? Which country started the tradition of putting up a Christmas tree? And the answer is Germany. Margaret Malone is our winner this morning. She's going to take home these wonderful ornaments.
I would have never guessed Germany.
I would never guess Germany either, right? Isn't these are just beautiful by
awesome,
Janae's. Janae's is back in business, and some wonderful ornaments. You've not started to.
No, I haven't started yet, but they're getting me in the mood. So this looks
wonderful
pretty
colors.
Yeah.
And it's going to be it's beginning to feel and look a lot like Christmas, right?
But we can't forget Thanksgiving though, because you know we have to get our stomachs going, and we got to get
those turkeys. Get those dinners and different things together, so that should be good. I'm happy about it.
I'm excited about it. Yeah. And be sure to stay tuned into the ZNS Network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into the Northern Edition at 6:30 and the Bahamas Tonight at 7. And that's a wrap for us this morning for the entire team.
That's a wrap. Beginning to look and feel a lot like Christmas.
Have a great morning, everyone.
It's been great. Take care.
Nobody wants to get HIV, but if you do, it's not the end of the world. Being diagnosed early gives you a chance of living a long and healthy life. Testing is the only way to know for sure if you have HIV, and knowing your status means that you can protect yourself and your sexual partners. Getting an HIV test is quick, easy, free, and your results